Anyhow, gas tax, gas tax, gas tax. Should we reduce the gas tax? I want to play this for you. First of all, I want to give you a narrative of the gas tax that I want you guys to remember keenly, because all these people that talk about gas tax and forgiving gas tax while the prices of gas is high, they don't understand economics. So let me go ahead and play this, and then we'll take it on the other side.
So when everything from eggs to lumber to cars, it's just so much more expensive, any kind of savings sounds pretty good, right? So how about 18 cents less per gallon of gas? The Washington Post reporting, quote, the White House and top Democratic lawmakers are beginning to weigh a new push for a federal gas tax holiday, potentially pausing fees at the pump as part of a broader campaign to combat rising prices. But that push, it actually might hit a roadblock before it even gets into gear.
What these senators who are up for re-election, they're out on the campaign trail and they hear from voters that the most concerning thing is inflation, the rising cost of gas prices, the rising cost of food. And so some of these senators are saying that perhaps they should consider suspending the federal gas tax, which is about 18.5 cents per gallon when you're filling up the tank. They say that will put a little bit more money in people's pockets and alleviate some of the pain. But there's already some pushback among Republicans who say that this is something that is gimmicky. It's something that won't have much of an impact. And they say that it's electoral year politics. And even some Democrats aren't completely on board yet either. Yeah. Now, historically, Democrats have long resisted attempts to get rid of the gas tax. This is something that is floated periodically every few years when gas prices do rise. And so this time around, though, Democrats are trying really hard to win back the Senate. And so this is an attempt to try to relate to Americans and give them some bit of help, Yasmin.
So here's the thing, quickly, Leanne, is I'm always told, listen, if you're against an idea, then tell me your solution. So what is their, the naysayers' solution to this, as we, of course, heard from the president as well yesterday, that the economy could be affected if Moscow invades Ukraine. That could push the gas prices even higher than they already are.
Yeah, well, this discussion about inflation on Capitol Hill, Republicans have been sounding this alarm for a while. Their response is mostly don't spend more government money, and that will help to reduce inflation. And then Democrats are now getting in on this debate, too. They are realizing that this is something that is real. But Democrats don't have a lot of proposals yet either. They are now at least starting to acknowledge that inflation is something that people are grappling with across the country, but they haven't really come up with any proposals that will cross the finish line in order to address it just yet. Yeah.
All right, let me tell you something. Any reduction in the gas taxes is nothing more than a transfer of wealth to the oil companies, because what it means is as follows. We are going to drop that little bit of tax, 18 cents or whatever it is, and everybody gets 18 cents back, and the oil companies just get either more volume in sales because the gas is dropped by 18 cents, or they rack the price up another 18 cents and call it inflation caused by all the different things occurring in the country. What I think the government should do is say, okay, if you guys can't supply gas, a necessary resource at a respectable price, we will go ahead and take over production until the emergency is done. And when you think you can give gasoline at a good price, we'll turn it back over to you. After all, the gasoline the crude that you're pulling out of the ground was not placed there by your corporations. It was placed there by divine spirits, or however it got there. Well, we know what it happens, right? That's all fossilized carbon. But anyway, if you can't give, the government is there to protect the people. If you cannot give a price to the people that they can survive on, then we, the people, will produce the oil at a price the people can use. And people say, but it's supply and demand is the reason why the price is high. No, we do not have shortages. If there were shortages, it would justify a run. We have sufficient fuel in this world, even as we shouldn't be burning it, but we have enough under current conditions. This is simply a transfer of wealth because these corporations have pricing power. This is the same for eggs. This is the same for milk. This is the same for cheese. This is the same for peanut butter. All these things, there's absolutely no reason that we should have any price increases on these particular products. And the reason why is we as American citizens, we buy the crap that neoliberals tell us on the news, on every channel, from Fox News to MSNBC to CNN. We cannot believe these lies, okay? We do not have shortages, and the supply chain issue has nothing to do with the government. It has everything to do with the private sector screwing up, with just-in-time inventory, with offshoring. So why should we, the people, pay the price for the screw-ups of the private sector to make a dollar? Since they have proven that they were inept, since they were been proven that they do not understand what's best for society, then if they go ahead and have inflation, we'll take it away from them and put the prices where they should be. And it can be done. The problem is you have to have the will to do it. You have to remember that why I talk about having the right size government is because government is we the people. And if the corporate structure, which we the people allow to exist as its own entity, actually remember, the corporation is a legal entity. If that legal entity is unable to make society better, if that legal entity hurts society, high gas prices, high food prices, then we take that legal entity away. Because first and foremost, it's we the people. First and foremost is we the people. If corporations had that threat on their backs, you would be surprised how fast prices would fall. If they thought for 1 minute that you misbehave, we will nationalize, watch how quickly prices come down. You want me to give an example of when that occurred? During the Obamacare debate, when they were scared that the ever-increasing prices of insurance was going through the roof, suddenly during the negotiations of Obamacare, the price increases on insurance stopped. They really slowed down. If you doubt me, look at the charts between 2008 and 2012, 2014. Take a look at the chart in the increase in these things, okay? We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.